Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name is Marcus Bale, and to my right is Ryan Eastman, and here we are at the Ameristeel Forum Arena. I'm very excited to get this game started.
As am I. Hopefully, this game will be as exciting as the last game we casted together. Uh, what was the final score? I kind of lost count after both teams cracked 100 there at the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're both close to about 140, but hey, that was such an offensive slugger knot. I'm sure that this was a very exciting time for a lot of us having a preview of the All-Star break, maybe? I don't know, but it was a crazy game nonetheless. But that was then. This is now. Here we are having the Pittsburgh Keystones going up against the Tennessee Moonshiners, and both teams haven't had the best of luck in the early going in the season.
No, they haven't. They definitely have both had the misfortune of starting off on the road for the majority of their opening games. Both teams, I believe, on the road 5 of their first 8 games. Pittsburgh losing at home to BOV and Bangor, the two conference finalists last year, so I don't know if you can really blame them for struggling there. On the flip side, Tennessee losing to Bangor as well as their only home loss thus far. So it may just be a sign of tough early scheduling for these two teams here.
Yeah, I'm going from personal experience. It's very difficult to really play on the road, very constantly moving around back and forth. It can tire a player out a bit, but the biggest issue for me here is that they are losing on the road. Some of those teams are considered to be playoff contenders, but not really finals contenders. And since Pittsburgh is still kind of on the brink of seeing as a lower seeded team still, probably maybe looking on the up and up, they might have to see if they can rely on some of their younger guys as well.
Well, I mean, you bring up the point that both these teams were playoff teams last year, so there were high expectations coming into this season that they would be on top of their form and find a way back to the playoffs and see if they could make it further. However, if the current rate that they have started continues throughout the season, we might find 2 of the teams not making the playoffs here playing tonight.
Yeah, and that's not something that you would like to see if you were a Keystone or a Moonshiners fan, especially for the Moonshiners, because they were considered one of the best teams of the Eastern Conference last year, having that defensive mentality. And speaking of defensive mentality, do you think that the defense is going to be a key factor in this game?
I mean, I think it will be. On the Tennessee side, you have the 2 alligators down the post, Hal Dufresne and Darius Cole. Probably, I mean, the best 2 alligators in the league right now, no doubt. I don't know if there are any other alligators in the league right now, actually. But for the flip side, I think the real question for Pitt is, can they stop them? Because we know Christian Hengst is going to be the starting center, but not 100% sure who's going to be the starting forward. This team brought over 2 forwards from Arizona this offseason, Brad Pullman and Serhan Tevtoglu. I don't think they've really decided which of the 2 they want to go with consistently as the starting power forward for this team.
Yeah, as you mentioned before with Serhan Tevtoglu, he has started for quite a good bit for Arizona, but had lost it last season during his last tenure there. But I'm hoping that he'll be finding a way to bounce back for this team, though it has been a little bit shaky for the past a few games for him. But hopefully we would see a little bit of a turnaround for him when we get into this game.
Well, I mean, he's getting paid $9 million this year. He better play.
Yeah, you're right on that. He has $10 million for next year, so it's going to be very interesting to see what he does.
Yes, and I believe both teams are actually starting to get ready to head onto the court now, as we'll head on over to courtside.
All right, and here we are with the starting lineups, as we can see, with Hank Sawyer starting off for the point guards and Randy Catcher as well. Both of those players haven't had the best start for this season.
No, Hank Sawyer coming off last season was riding a high note. However, the veteran catcher still starting for the Pits, despite Eric Kajani being drafted 4 seasons ago now, it feels like.
Yeah, but here we are getting started as Reyes gets the tip off and he passes it over to the pretty much the veteran of this team, the catcher, as he passes it over to Hanks. Hanks passing it over to Reyes. Reyes taking it back to catcher, getting a nice screen from Christian. Christian asking for the ball, but catcher instead trying to drive it up, but he gets blocked. But catcher gets it back, and it gets a shot clock violation. Not a good start there for Pittsburgh.
No, not what you'd expect from the veteran of 10 years, Randy Catcher. Not sure if he just lost track of the time on the shot clock and got flustered after that block, but costly turnover to start the game.
Yeah, right now we get to see Hank with the rock. And gets fouled there for a reach-in. Catcher is not having a great start this time, guys.
Maybe a little bit of frustration off that first possession showing there, that early foul.
And right now, Peter Millark, easily the star on this team, and he's not able to lay it in. But Russell Savoy is able to get the put back. Tennessee is up 2-0 as we get down to the first minute of the first quarter. Catcher taking his time. Passes it over to Takamoto. Getting some nice little passing in the early going of this possession. Catcher getting a nice little answer after that costly turnover from the last possession, tying it up 2 apiece.
Yeah, call for the screen from the big horse and opened himself up wide open. And then a second foul.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think they're going to sub him out. They are. 2 fouls in under a minute and 15.
Yeah, that's not something you really want to see from the veteran. I mean, there have been a little bit of rumors going around in the league that he has passed his time, but right now he's showing his clear frustrations that he wants to prove a point, but not doing a good job. As Kajani with a nice steal there, the backup point guard for the Pittsburgh Keystones, was seen as the future as well for this team. As he gets the ball back, Kajani passing it over to Hanks. Hanks trying to fight his way into the post against the Gator. And he's going up, and it's no good. Nice defensive effort from Cole.
Yeah, Cole didn't bite for that pump fake at all. As Savoy's going to shoot from just outside the paint, but can't get it to work.
Yeah, because Reyes is able to get the rebound. And Tolliver going for 3, and it hits the side of the rim. And right now, Peter Millark bringing it up. Millark dishes it over to Sawyer. And Sawyer going along the three-point line. He passes it back over to Peter. Peter sees a man open for Dufresne. But that's not really his shot. But he finds a way to pound it back into because he's going up against Kajani, and he's laying it in. Excellent layup there.
Yeah, that's what you call a matchup disadvantage. Poor Kajani, unable to even get a paw in the face at his height.
Yeah, right now we get to see Reyes passing it over to Christian. Christian going over to Kajani. Kajani slithering his way into the paint, and he's able to lay it in and one.
Yeah, that's the one thing the Leopard has to his advantage, despite his size, is his speed and quickness, and able to slide between the big furs on the floor and get open for that backdoor pass. And he's going to go to the line for the N1 opportunity. And going back to your statement about the rumors of Randy Catcher, don't you mean more so that some angry journalist, perhaps, that we know that shall not be named so he doesn't appear?
Yeah, sure. There has been a lot of words going from fellow journalists, and also a little bit of Eric Kajani as well, showing a little bit of frustration that he's not being featured even more than he already has during his time in Pittsburgh. As right now we see Sawyer trying to go into the paint, not able to get it this time, but Hal Dufresne laying it up and in, cleaning up the mess.
Yeah, a little bit of a mismatch with Reyes at power forward. He is more of a small power forward. I believe 6'6" is his official height.
And right now Christian going over to Tolliver. Terrence not being able to lay it in. Right now it's pretty much 50% right now for Christian Hanks. And right now we get to see a nice 3 there from what I believe was Sawyer. No, it wasn't Sawyer. My mistake.
I believe that was Savoy.
Yeah, Savoy. There we go.
Rhymes with Sawyer.
Yeah. And right now Eric passes it over to Terrence Tolliver. Right now Pittsburgh might need to see if we can get an answer out of him. He's a really good shooting guard for the past few years. And right now we get to see Eric Johnny getting a nice teardrop. Excellent. Right now it looks like Eric Johnny is doing an excellent job trying to fill in for the Frog. He gets into a little bit of early foul trouble. And wow, excellent steal there from Eric. And right now, Pittsburgh is having their ways for them defensively as Pittsburgh is able to tie it up 9 apiece from Tolliver's lay-in. And right now, Sawyer fighting away is up into the lane, and he goes up into a nice finger roll as he gets a lead up back up to 2, 11-9.
Yeah, you use a nice double clutch there to avoid the block and get an open shot at the basket.
And right now we get to see Kajani getting the rock back. He's got a man right over. Here comes Tolliver, but he decided not to take it. And he takes it this time with a very tough shot there with the clock running out. But Tennessee is able to get it back with Savoy. Pass it over to Sawyer. Right now, Darius Cole finding a way to pound into the paint, but he passes it out back to Sawyer. Again, second of the shot clock running out. And right now we get to see Savoy for 3, no good.
Fast break opportunity. Reyes going to spin it and lose it, actually, to Dufresne.
Yeah, and right now it just seems like it's a defensive slugger. And again, we get to see the ball getting bounced out everywhere, but it gets to stay on the Moonshiner side of the court. And they got knocked out of a Pittsburgh player's hands. And right now we get to see how Dufresne passes it over to Color. The Gators trying to find a way into the paint. They pass it back out into the three-point to the mark. Cole go for a 15-footer, but is not able to make it that time. Rays trying to lay it up. Great shot there. He was able to go into the paint really well and drive it in.
Yeah, what he lacks in size, he makes up for in speed there as he's able to outmaneuver Dufresne.
Speaking of Dufresne, he gets a reach-in foul from Eric Ajani this time. That's his first personal.
Kajani better watch out. I don't think the Pittsburgh has a third point guard they can really go to if he gets in foul trouble here.
Yeah, especially in the first quarter. That's not something you want to see for both of your point guards having foul trouble, as we get to see some nice passing there from the Tennessee. Dufresne, again, having that size advantage, but instead going for the fadeaway jumper. Very interesting choice, especially with the size advantage. And right now we're going to see Tolliver laying it up but not able to make it.
I think the issue was that Kajani actually got a paw on the ball, and Dufresne had the shot clock beeping in his ear, so he had to make throw up a shot up.
And right now we're going to see Takamoto passing it up to Rays. It was a great dime there. And right now we get to see a timeout from the Moonshiners.
Yeah, I can't blame them. They're losing track of Reyes with his speed. Maybe wanted to make a change here at power forward, switch up to maybe someone a little faster than Dufresne just to put a cap on the sophomore Skunks' momentum here. Actually, it looks like they will bring in Shuck. I don't know, but he's going for center.
Yeah, right now we also get to see Bray Bryan and a little bit of action for him. You can see it possible to Eli Shuck and Bryan laying it up. Already some good contributions on the bench for the Tennessee side.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh actually sent out their second line here.
You're going to see Tyrone Gale passing over to Reyes. Reyes going over for a jumper, but is not able to hit the side of the rim. All right, Bobby trying to find his way into the paint, but he passes it out to Sawyer. Sawyer going over to Eli. Eli loses the ball, and Hanks picks it up. Good hands there by Hanks, as Pittsburgh now has an opportunity to lead for the first time. Brad Pullman with the rock passes over to Rays. Now going over to Lawless. Lawless going over back to Rays. Rays going to Pullman. Gale for 3. No good, hitting the side of the rim.
Yeah, a little too strong there from the horse.
And right now we're going to see Brian bringing it up. Brian going over to Sawyer. Sawyer passing it to Dufresne. Dufresne back to Sawyer. Lots of passing going on as Brian passing it back to Sawyer. Someone has to make a shot here. Sawyer with a desperation jumper, not able to make it. Pullman with the rebound. And right now, we get to see a little bit of a fast break, and Gale is able to answer. And Pittsburgh takes its first lead in the game, 15-13. And right now, Sawyer trying to find a way to size up his defender. Passes it over to Dufresne. Dufresne trying to get an answer, but had to resort to a fadeaway, but is not able to make it. It seems like Tennessee is struggling a little bit when it comes to getting into the paint, where they're known to be very good at.
Yeah, now that Brad's on the floor, I think they're going to find it even tougher here, as the Pittsburgh Keystones have upgraded their size down the post.
Right now we can see Tyrone trying to go for a long two, but it looks like it got blocked, and it's a shot clock violation. Nice defense. So now we get to see some good defensive strides here in these past couple of possessions.
Well, I mean, by this point, last game we cast, the score was like 30-30, so...
Yeah, it's more of a defensive... It's more of a defensive effort now in this game, it seems.
Well, and as you say that, Dufresne really stretching his range there as he lands the three-pointer from beyond the arc, and Pittsburgh going to answer the timeout here.
Yeah, it seems like right now Tennessee is starting to slowly find their stride, even though Pittsburgh has had their number a little bit late in this first quarter.
Well, they've done a good job of limiting their ability to get plays set up and going. A number of Tennessee shots have come as the shot clock's winding down, and you see bad shots in that case as Orshot answers with a three of his own off the inbound.
Yeah, Orshot with an excellent three-pointer, getting the lead back to Pittsburgh, 18-16. Dufresne passing up to Anderson Rose, but it seems like Orshot also commits a foul there, a reach-in. It'll still be Tennessee's ball.
And maybe a little too aggressive from the Pittsburgh Keystones here.
And right now we get to see Francesca getting into the paint, trying to get a nice jumper, and she's able to make it in pretty easily. Now we're tied 18 apiece. Both teams shooting 47% on the field so far. Pretty decent shooting for both teams as Warrior tries to lay it up, but is not able to get it in. Right now, Tennessee looking to try to find a way to get into it, and Elisa Lawless with another reach-in foul. I believe that's her second one.
No, that's
correct. That's her first.
It's her first. That's the fourth on the point guard, though. I think Pittsburgh's game plan going into this game was pressure the guard and try and force turnovers, even though right now it's not working out for them. It's just generating free fouls for the Moonshiners.
Yeah, as they get to go into the bonus for this quarter. Brian missing the first, but making the second here. So right now, Tennessee is up by 1, 19-18. Elisa Lawless bringing it up. She is a former biker. She passes over to Gale. Gale passing over to Orshot. Orshot back to Gale. Right now, it seems that they're trying to find an opening to this defense, but it ends up causing another costly turnover as Orshot steps out of bounds, I believe. And it looks like we're going to see some substitutions as Rachel Barsky gets to come in for the Moonshiners. Right now, Francesca gets a nice screen. Francesca passes it over to Brian. Brian calling for the screen. He's looking like he's going to get it. Right now, it's not looking good as he's only got 5 seconds left of the shot clock. Francesca has to do something with it. Tough three. Not able to make it. Pullman with the rebound. And Orshot going for three. No good. Eli Shuck gets the board, and Barsky gets it this time. Barsky pass it over to, and it gets tipped by Lawless, and it's another turnover here. Very turnover heavy in this quarter. And we're going to see a lay-in. No good, though. Anderson Rhodes gets a shooting foul. It's her first personal.
Yeah, and Tyrone will head to the line for 2. Both teams struggling to get points on the board here. We might not see either of them crack 20 at this rate, but go on the
we
first.
We could see it here, though, with Gale. Right now, Tyrone Gale going for the second one, and it's good. The third-year player making both, as we do get to see a team crack the 20.
I mean, 30-second difference in this would not have happened. We'll see if Tennessee is able to make it happen.
Well, right now, I thought it was going to be a screen, but it looks like we get to see a miss there. Shuck trying to lay it up, and they do get to crack the 20. Shuck goes on the line for an and one. Again, using his size to his advantage.
Yeah, the Pangolin getting the offensive rebound there. That's the third for Tennessee so far tonight. That is the one area that they have a clear advantage is their size between Dufresne, Cole, and Shuck. They are heads above the rest of the players on the Pittsburgh Keystones, but the Keystones will get the last possession of the quarter.
Yeah, right now we get to see Lawless passing over to Gale. But remember, Tennessee might be very well known for their big men, but Pittsburgh is well known for their guards. We get to see Gale try to find a way to go into the paint, but he gets fouled by Anderson Rhodes, so Gale gets to go on the line for 2.
Yep, that's one way to get freebies on the court is force your opponent to initiate contact with you by driving to the paint. And with 2 seconds left, I doubt Tennessee will be able to get any kind of shot off after this next free throw attempt here.
Yeah, and Gale was able to make the first one, so now it's tied up 21 apiece. And let's see if Pittsburgh's able to take the lead here with this second one.
A lot of lead changes so far tonight. Neither team is, I think, separated more than 4 points here.
And Pittsburgh has taken the lead once again. So right now, another lead change. And we can see a long shot. Not able to make it that time, though, as it hits the back of the rim. Would have been a great way to end the first quarter, but right now we get to see Pittsburgh leading up 22-21.
Yeah, I think the story of the first half has definitely been the defense for both teams really clamping down. I mean, we saw a couple blocks and big turnovers from both teams, in fact.
Yeah, I think that's also a big thing you have to look into in the first quarter is the costly turnovers on both sides, especially for the Tennessee, which got Pittsburgh slowly to come back into the game and get these crazy lead changes. So right now, both teams might have to clean it up when it comes to playing very clean.
Well, I think with Tennessee, the issue is they need a better shot clock management. Twice we saw it turned over on the shot clock violation after being blocked, so they can't afford to keep waiting till the last few seconds to finish a play up.
Yeah, we can see Shuck making some moves here into the post. Getting a nice, again, using his big size for the Bengalian. And right now we're going to see Gale with the rock. Pass it over to Orshot. Orshot going over to Catcher. Catcher's back into the game. Hopefully he'll be able to have a refresh for this game after that struggle in the first couple of possessions. And Barsky going for 3. And no good. In and out. But we get to see a foul from Francesca.
Over the back from the rookie. And to be honest, Randy should be super fresh because he only played for 1 minute and 15 seconds before he got pulled.
Yeah, so he could have an advantage here as he passes over to Gale. Gale going over to Temetoglu. And another reach-in foul, this time from Anderson Rhodes. Look, she might have to sit out on the next break because that's her third personal.
Yeah, the other
And, um,
leopard, he might find himself bench. You know, he is a bench player, so they might decide to keep him in. It's not that much of a risk of him fouling out.
and right now we're going to see catcher trying to make some moves, and he loses the ball to Brian. Brian with the quick pause. And right now we get to see Tennessee try to take advantage, and we can see an alley-oop dunk to Barsky. Nice effort there from the offensive side, taking advantage of that turnover by Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Tennessee's up by 3.
Yeah, the Stingray's known for his defensive abilities. Great player to come off the bench to kind of lock down their opponent's point guard. Tennessee really finding themselves a great role players. Barsky steals the ball now. Another fast break opportunity.
No good there that time, though. But again, Pittsburgh really has to be careful here, especially catcher. As he passes over to Tepetoglu. Tepetoglu. Looking to try to find a way to get into the paint, but instead passes it back out to catcher. Catcher getting a screen. Catcher with a nice open look. No good, though. But catcher does, the Puma does get it back, and Orsa takes the 3. Not this time.
Yeah, the Screaming Eagle comes flying in for the offensive rebound, but Keystones can't capitalize on it.
Yeah, but Brian almost losing the ball, but Barsky was able to pick it up, and Brian gets it back. Passes it over to Francesca. He's trying to make a move. The rookie going for a long shot here, not able to make it. So right now, both teams are being a little bit cold now in the early going of the second quarter.
Well, apparently the only way to score is to literally put it in the hoop with your own paw, so come on, dunk it, young furs.
Yeah, right now we get to see Tepetoglu passing over to catcher. Catcher for 3. No good. Right now, catcher has been struggling in this game, not able to find his shot. And right now, Barsky tried to pass it, but it gets tipped. Shuck gets it back, though, and he gets an excellent lay-in. Good cleanup there, as Shuck is right now perfect on the field, which is not surprising considering his size advantages.
Well, he also shoots from like a foot out, so I mean, you can make a shot from a foot out, right?
Of course I can. It might have been a minute since I've last played, but I still can shoot. And right now we get to see some pause on the Tennessee. You get a nice defense, but it still ends up on staying with Pittsburgh. Right now Tennessee has a little bit of a lead, 27-22. They're up by 5.
Yeah, this is the largest lead tonight for any team.
And right now we get to see Gale trying to shorten that lead a little bit, and he does so with a quick jumper, as they're only down by 3. And right now, Brian being the general, telling people where to go, getting a good screen. As he passes over to Shuck. Shuck, once again, with that advantage, and he's able to take it with ease.
4 for 4 now. You know, I think he did miss a free throw, if I remember correctly. So he's not completely perfect from the floor.
Yeah, right now we get to see Togolu passing it up to Gale. Tyrone finding his way into the lane. Francesca had no choice but to foul. A pretty hard one there at that.
Yeah, the horse is pretty sturdy. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, right now Tyrone gets a chance to cut the deficit down to 3. Yeah, Tyrone, 8 points tonight. Though half of those points came from the free throw line as he misses the first. But yeah, Gale is doing very well trying to find his way into the paint, but misses them both. So the deficit is still by 5. And right now, just trying to see what the Moonshine is going to do as Malark hits the rock, trying to get his way into the paint. But it's not looking too hot as he tries to fight his way in, but he's able to get it. We're sizing up Tepetoglu really nicely. And right now we get to see Terrence Going on the line, and he passes over to Eric. Eric passing it, try to pass it over into the paint, but it gets stolen by Tennessee. Peter Millark going up for the 2, and it's no good. Tennessee has to take advantage of those those turnovers. That would have been very nice for them to extend their lead. As Kajani did defend it very well as he gets to pass it over to Hanks. Hanks going to Gale. Gale getting a screen, getting a chance to shoot for 3, and it is, nope, my mistake, long 2. Tennessee is up 31-26.
Yeah, no one close this gap. Kajani needs to play smarter. That pass to the post that was intercepted was very ill-advised between 2 defenders.
You're right on that as Hughes trying to get something going, and he gets a nice screen, going for the 3, and nope, not mistake, long 2. A lot of long 2s in these last couple of possessions.
Set your paws up, rookie. You'll get the 3-pointer if you just took another half step back. If you're going to challenge yourself from shooting that far out, you might as well get rewarded for it.
Yeah, but right now we're losing the ball there as Millark tries to get it, but Tuggaloo was able to get it back. That would have been a disaster. As Tolliver laying up and in. After that kind of wild possession, they were still able to get 2 out of that.
It was like a battle for the ball. It looked like Millark had his paw on it, but just slipped out of his reach, and Teratoglu was able to grab it and pass it open to the open man. And then Tolliver going to steal it back. Fast break opportunity here.
Now, it looks like they're not going to be able to get that fast break as everyone's able to hustle right back. That's Hanks. Passes over to Kajani. Kajani laying it up. And once again, the Leopard is using his speed. So right now the deficit is down to 3, 33-30. Is right now Sawyer trying to find his way into the paint. Instead of going for a fadeaway, not able to make it. Hits the back of the rim.
He's been cold tonight so far.
Yeah, right now Tyrone Gale passing over to Kajani. Kajani has done a very good job in the point guard position right now. Tevo Togalu with the rock. Tevo passes it to Hanks. Hanks passing to Tevo Togalu. Looked like a nice dish that Millark had no choice but to foul him. So he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Sirhan is one of those rare stretch 4 furs, so you know Tennessee's having to keep an eye on him. It looked like they had Millark guarding him there, a bit more mobile and able to guard all the way to the perimeter, so that frees up other furs as well without having to, if Millark's having to worry about him, and arguably Millark is one of their better perimeter defenders on the team, as we'll see some substitutions from both teams.
Yeah, and Tevo Togalu was able to make the first one. So the deficit is down to 2. Pittsburgh finding their way to get back into this game. And Tevo Togalu was not able to make the second. So Tennessee is up by 2 with the ball. Sawyer trying to find his way to size up as he passes over to Cole. Cole trying to pass it into the paint, but it gets stolen again by Tolliver. And Lawless trying to get a nice teardrop to go down, but it's not good. Peter passing it over to Savoy. Savoy laying it up, not able to make it. It got tipped for a second, so they had a panic shot and wasn't able to make it that time. Shirley getting a screen. Shirley with the 3, not able to make it. Both teams are struggling a little bit on the 3. As Millark tries it this time, and
left wide
as I
open.
said,
well, I mean, if no one's going to make it, why bother defending the perimeter at this point?
Yeah, it just seems like both teams are going to have to play the paint. As Tolliver going for 3, he's not making it either. No one is making the 3, it seems like.
Well, maybe in a little bit of an agreement, whoever makes the first 3, you can't stop shooting until that happens.
Yeah.
You know,
right now,
Dufresne's
going to
ruin it.
He's not able to make it that time. Shirley?
Are we going to crack 40 here?
Maybe. We still have plenty of time to do that. And Hanks laying it in and one. So we're getting an old school 3 at least, possibly. As Christian Hanks is able to find a way to get into the paint and laying it in, getting a chance for an and one.
And the first chance for Pittsburgh to take back the lead after being down by 7 at one point.
Yeah, Pittsburgh once again trying to show a lot of fight here as Dufresne passing it up to Sawyer.
I don't even know if you can really call it a scoring drought, as finally able to make the first basket tonight, I believe, for Sawyer. Tennessee was at 31 earlier when Pitt was at 24, so they've only gotten 4 points in the time it took Pitt to get 10. And a chance to extend that now is Reyes going to the line for 2.
Yeah, right now Tennessee has really lost their stride defensively against Pitt, as they are really getting taken advantage of with the speed in the post.
Yeah, even though only Anderson Rhodes is in trouble in terms of fouls, Pittsburgh find the way to the line early and often here tonight.
And with that, Pittsburgh is leading by 136-35. That was only have less than 3 minutes in the half. And Cole get a nice dish, but decided to pass it back. Sawyer passing it to Dufresne. Excellent pass, bounce pass there.
I mean, I'm not going to fault him because Dufresne scored, but Cole, him passing back out, being that close to the basket, is a sign of his lack of confidence. But here we're going to see a block from Dufresne.
Yeah, right now it looks like Tennessee has found some kind of spark, but is not able to answer with that nice block there as they missed it. And right now Pittsburgh trying to answer back, trying to get the lead. No good, but Warrior is able to clean things right back up.
Yeah, Tennessee may have had a spark, but they failed to ignite the fire that they needed here as they let Pittsburgh answer back.
And right here comes Sawyer. Got a man open, trying to get into the lane, and here comes Providence! Giving a good lay-in, finding his way to weasel on into the paint, using the size advantage that Pittsburgh has been using this entire game.
How do you lose track of the tar in the post?
I have no clue. As Tolliver getting a nice opening and able to bring it down. Good shot.
And both teams have scored more points in the last 2 minutes than they scored in the first 10 minutes of the quarter. As Cole going to reverse layup.
Take over.
And Loyalist going to play point guard now for the Pittsburgh Keystone with only a minute left to play in the second quarter here. Down by 1, and Reyes uses the advantage of Dufresne over-committing on the steal there. Gave Reyes the easy turnaround layup. Another lead change here is Pittsburgh up by 1 again. But in terms of shot clock, it looks like Tennessee may have the last possession too.
Yep. Okay, right now Sawyer laying it up. No good there, but he gets the foul by Warrior.
Yeah, another chance for the team to switch leads here as they go to the line for 2.
Yeah, right now both teams are really fighting for that lead. This game has been very, very close so far, as right now Sawyer is able to try and tie things back up. And he does so with a nice little roll. And then we're going to see some nice substitutions as we presume to be the last 2 possessions of the game. Right now we're going to see Hal Dufresne come back into the game. And Pittsburgh substituting for the entire team, as I believe is bringing in a good mix of both the starters and the second unit. As Sawyer was able to make the second one to take the lead. As Tennessee is up 43-42.
Keep an eye on Takamoto. I imagine she'll take the last shot for Pittsburgh here.
And right now we get to see Pullman going over to Rays. Rays laying it up and one. As Hal Dufresne gets, I believe, his second personal. And right now we get to see Sawyer getting a chance to have some rest as Brian comes back in. And not able to get it down as Pittsburgh is now only up by one. We get to see the last possession of Tennessee as Anderson Rose passing it over to Providence. Providence pulling it back. Providence might be thinking of doing an ISO. No, he's passing to Brian. Brian for three. Not able to make it there as Warrior gets the rebound, and that'll be the end of the first half. So Pittsburgh will be leading by one, 44-43.
Yeah, a little surprising they took out Sawyer. You think of Sawyer as the more offensive threat compared to Brine, but maybe they were expecting that Pittsburgh would not think that Brine would be the one taking the shot there at the end and hope for an open look, as both teams shooting 46% from the field, pretty much even in terms of scoring, and the only real difference has been the fact that Tennessee has blocks compared to Pittsburgh steals.
Yeah, right now it just seems like that the defense is the big thing for both of these teams, and right now it's been a very interesting game for both.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look here at the scores for both teams. For Pittsburgh, Hanks with 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal, only taking 2 shots so far tonight. Tolliver, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals as well, but shooting from 25% from the floor. Reyes leading the team, I believe, with 12 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. 5 for 7 and 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Tyrone Gale, not too far behind with 10 points, 3 for 5, has taken 3 trips to the line, but aside from missing 2, has been perfect. Takamoto has only taken 1 shot from beyond the arc and missed it, but has put up 2 assists as well without any turnovers. Pullman doing his job of pulling down the rebounds, including an offensive one, totaling for 5 total rebounds and 2 assists. Serhan, 1 point coming from the free throw line and 3 rebounds as well. Lawless coming in as the third string guard, 1 assist, 1 steal, and missed her 1 shot so far. Eric Kajani filling in for Randy after his foul trouble, 3 for 3, perfect from the floor, 7 points, 1 assist, and 2 steals, but a turnover as well. Orshot hit the lone 3, I think, for Pittsburgh tonight, and Catcher with his 2 fouls is 1 for 4 with 2 points and 2 rebounds, and no assist. And Warrior, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 turnover, and shooting 50% from the field. And heading on over to the Tennessee Moonshiners, Sawyer shooting 33% from the floor with 6 points and 3 assists. Malark, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 for 4 so far. Dufresne, 9 points, 9 rebounds, on track for a double-double, if not a 20 for 20 if he picks up the pace slightly, 4 for 7. Cole, 2 turnovers, costly, 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. Savoy, 1 3-pointer as well, 5 points total, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block, doing a bit of everything here. Shuck, perfect from the floor, but aside from that 1 missed free throw, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Brine, a stat in every category minus a turnover. He has 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Anderson Rhodes, 3 fouls and his 1 rebound. Those are the only notable stats to point out. And Barsky with her 1 slam dunk and a steal, doing what she can with her limited minutes so far. And Francesca, 2 fouls as well. The rookie getting in foul trouble a little early here. And Kiara Hughes, 2 points, 1 for 1 from the floor. And Providence, 2 points as well, 1 for 2. We'll head back to the second half of this close game. Only a 1 point difference here.
Yeah, and right now we get to see Sawyer bringing it up for the Moonshiners. As he passes it to Cole, we get to see a foul already with Shirley Takamoto.
Hey, it wasn't Catcher. That would have been, 5 seconds in, if Catcher had done it, I think he would have just been benched for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and Savoy gets to try to lay it up, but not able to make it. So after that little mishap, Pittsburgh was able to find a way to prevent them from scoring on that last possession, as Takamoto laying it up, cleaning up her mistake from the defensive struggle. in the first 5 seconds in, as Pittsburgh has the lead up by 3. Right now, Cole getting a nice little fadeaway, but it's not able to make it that time. This catcher laying it up, no good. Savoy gets the board. Russell pass it over to Sawyer. Sawyer, Takamoto with the excellent pause there, getting a good steal, picking it off as Tolliver trying to take advantage. No good. Christian Hanks had the ball, but it ended up slipping out of his hooves. And Tennessee gets the rock back. It's a shame they weren't able to take advantage of that. As right now, it seems like the defensive effort is going to help decide who the victor would be in this game, as Tennessee is able to get the lead by 1.
21 lead changes.
Yeah, 21 lead changes, ladies and gentlemen. That's how close these two teams have been in this contest. We're going to get to see catcher with the rock, hopefully to find some kind of spark for his fire, as the Frog passes it up to Takamoto. Takamoto for a tough 3, not able to hit it as it hits the front of the rim. Right now, Takamoto 1 for 3 in this entire game. Not really something you would like to see from your starting small forward. Right now, Sawyer trying to do a spin move, laying it up, no good.
I mean, he had an open shot there after he knocked his defender over and still couldn't make it.
Yeah, right now, catcher getting a screen from Hanks. Wasn't really a good setup, but Takamoto gets the ball, passing up to Hanks. Hanks trying to find a way to get into the paint, not budging there from one of the big Gators. It's Takamoto going up for a long 2, not able to make it. Good defense there by Tennessee, especially from Cole in the paint. Takamoto is now 1 for 4. Millark passing it to Dufresne, taking it to Sawyer. Sawyer hands it back to Dufresne, the two Gators working with each other. Dufresne trying to find a way to get in, but he gets fouled by Reyes. So Darius gets to go on the line for 2.
And the big key thing for the Tennessee Moonshiners is the fact that their two Gators are so patient in the post. I mean, we saw Hanks trying to pump fake multiple times, and Cole was not biting on a single one of those. So, no open shot available for him there. He just needs to commit early and hopefully catch Cole off guard.
Yeah, we get to see Dufresne tying this thing back up, 46 apiece.
Poor stat guys having to keep track of all these ties and lead changes.
Yeah, it just seems like that we like at this point we might end up having 40 league changes by the end of the game. As Dufresne is able to make the second one. Right now, both Gators are becoming a real huge factor for Tennessee in this game as we start getting into the 9 minutes left into the third quarter. Catcher trying to go for a lob here, but Tolliver was not able to get it because of Millark. So that did not go as planned. Catcher pass it over to Hanks. Hanks trying to go for a wild shot, not able to get it down.
And that was on Catcher not throwing it high enough there for Tolliver.
And Dufresne trying to lay it up, an excellent block, but not going to be out without contact. And Reyes is a little bit disappointed about that call. So it seems that there was a lot of contact there, so you can't really get mad about it.
I mean, he has to. Like I said, Pittsburgh here going with a size mismatch. They may want to consider bringing back in Brad Pullman just to match up against Dufresne for right now. I mean, I think he's giving up at least 8 inches on the Gator, because the Gator's 7'3", and he is 6'6", so that's actually a 9-inch disadvantage for him, and he's not getting the jump he needs to actually put up a paw in his face to affect the shot, so he's having to resort to physical contact, and he's just going to get called on that every time here.
Yeah, and right now, Dufresne is doing excellent on the line so far, as he's able to make the second one. So right now, trying to foul the big men is not really working in Pittsburgh's favor, because usually the big men struggle along the line.
Well,
usually in these games.
This is also coming from the Gator who just hit a 3 earlier this game, so he's not missing from anywhere right now.
And right now we get to see Hanks passing to Takamoto. Tolliver going for a long two. It's good.
Yeah, there was no set play there. They just passed the ball to see who was willing to take the shot.
Well, it worked very well for them as Dufresne passed it to Millark. Millark passed it to Dufresne. Dufresne has been doing very well for this team offensively. Dufresne, once again, getting into the paint. Passing up to Sawyer. Sawyer getting a drive. It gets the good bounce. So right now, both teams are shooting around 45%. Both of them not letting up. As Hanks is trying to see to find finds got an opening, and he does so with Ray's excellent assist.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the size, going with a smaller power forward there, able to find his way in the post and tall enough. And we see Takamoto actually stealing the ball here. Pittsburgh with a chance to take the lead again.
And right now will be a good momentum change, and right now we're seeing Pittsburgh taking some nice advantages here. As now they're up by 52-51. And right now Sawyer going over to Dufresne. Dufresne finding his way into the paint once more, not able to get it. Hanks get with the board. That's Takamoto. Trying to find a way to get an opening, but instead passes it up to Tolliver. Harris gets a nice screen from Hanks. But he has to pull it back. Hanks, that's the rock, going over to Takamoto. Takamoto has to make a shot here, and it gets blocked! And a shot clock violation one more time. Great block there by Peter Millark. I think that's who was defending her.
Yeah, once again on Pittsburgh, I think that's their third shot clock violation here tonight, especially off of a block. Like I said, Takamoto not been accurate here tonight, so expecting her to take the last shot seems ill-advised. Give it to Tolliver or Reyes at least.
And yeah, right now Tennessee is going to take every bit of advantage from that slump. As we're going to see a long three and not able to get it there. And right now, Reyes gets a nice opening, but he gets fouled by Shook. But Reyes, once again, using their speed to get into the paint. And they have been heavily relying on it in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I want to wait till we get to the end of the game. We can see how many points came from the free throw line here tonight. So far, I think at least a fifth have to have come from the free throw line for both teams, as both teams are actually going to make major substitutions.
Yeah, you're probably right about that, because both teams, this is a very, very gritty type of game here. Very opposite of what our first broadcast was, with both teams pretty much grinding their points from tooth and nail. Pittsburgh's up by 3. As Bobby Ray has passed it over to Anderson. And Hughes finding his way to drive in very easily, as Tennessee is only down by 1. Right now, Pittsburgh is looking for Catcher to have some kind of spark. They had to do it here as he passes it up to Gale. Gale going up to Reyes. Reyes passes it up back to Gale. Gale getting a nice screen, and he gets an opening that he needs. Not able to get it down, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure you saw that, but as soon as they handed the ball off to Reyes, they actually started to double-team him there. So Tennessee making an adjustment. Here is a block by Gale, and he is pumping his fist at that for the crowd. Hughes, the rookie, getting abused there by the horse.
Yeah, and right now, this guard is pretty much doing just about everything right now. Very excellent block there. Not something you usually see from a guard. Right now, Hughes gets the rock from out of bounds. And he gets a good screen. Hughes pulling it back, though. Hughes trying to find some kind of opening. Passing up to Francesca. Francesca will have to make a tough 3. And he's not able to get it. Pullman gets the board. Hands it over to Lawless. Lawless going back over to Pullman. Pullman going over to Orshot. Orshot. Orshot standing right to trying to find some kind of drive. Getting defended well. Pass it up to Pullman. Pullman with the wild shot. No good. Francesca. He's right now trying to get his team back as he goes over to Hughes. Hughes with a nice open look and able to get it down.
Well, when she's not getting blocked by the third-year player, she has a nice shooting stroke.
Mm-hmm. This Pullman getting defended well, getting raised. Raised once again using that speed, but it's not able to lay it down as Brian gets the board. And we get a reach-in found by Rays. That's not something you want to see. And it looks like we're going to get to see Rays come off as we get to see Warrior come in.
Yeah, I mean, not a terrible situation here to go ahead and substitute him out. He has been key to their game so far tonight, and while they'd like to keep him in, at the same time they could need him in the fourth quarter, so might as well give him a chance to rest and avoid foul trouble here.
Yes, and right now Brian, who has had a pretty solid game, had it over to Shuck, and Shuck was gotten fouled on, so Warrior I believe that's Warrior's second personal, maybe third.
That's their third. And it's funny, Tennessee's been fouling the most on shooting attempts, while Pittsburgh's fouling has been almost strictly limited to reach-in calls here. I feel bad for the Moonshiners, honestly. The stress of knowing that your opponents are going to go for the steal no matter what the fouling situation is can put you on edge.
Yeah, but right now we're going to see Warrior. And Warrior does have some pretty nice size. And he passes it up to Pullman. Pullman with the speed. The ego showing that that Ray's not the only one that can go around pretty quickly.
I mean, the bird can fly every so often.
And here comes Anderson Rhodes, passing up to Providence. Right now, Tennessee is down by 1. Again, lots of lead changes as Brian goes for 3, not able to get it that time. Pittsburgh is able to get the rebound. Gale finding a nice opening with a huge dunk.
Yeah, that's just poor transitional defense there from Tennessee. I mean, there's nothing easier than just laying the ball in with your own paw. If there's no one there to contend it, go for it.
And here we get to see Brian trying to lay it up, but some nice late defense there as Providence tries to make it 3, but no good. Brian, while he's doing great defensively, offensively he has struggled as Eli Shuck gets another personal on him as Tyrone Gale gets to go on the line for 2 more.
Yeah, he's been a mixed bag. He made his first 2 and then missed his second 2. Here he starts off on the right paw with 1 make. Can he make the next, or is he going to continue to stay at 50% here?
And he was able to make his second shot. Pittsburgh up by 5. Right now they are perfect in the second half when it comes to free throws. So that's a good sign to have. And right now, Tennessee's not able to get their basket in, as Pittsburgh has a chance to extend the lead back to 7, which is currently the largest lead that either team has had in the game.
Yeah, this is.
Could have a chance to tie that.
So this is Pitt's largest lead so far now. I don't think they've ever been higher than 2. And Warrior's not going to get it.
Yeah, Warrior trying to go for a fadeaway, but it's not able to get there. Providence looking for somebody. He passes it up to Brian. Brian passes it right back, though. See if they can find a better man open. Right now, trying to have some kind of off-ball movement. And he instead goes for 3 on his own, and it's just a straight-up air ball from Providence.
I mean, I can't blame him considering how late in the shot clock. I don't think he was expecting the ball to come back to him that quickly. I've seen kids throw it softer in hot potato.
Yeah, as Warrior trying to lay it up, but no good. But he's able to get to the line for 2 as Eli Shuck fouls him.
Yeah, she has a chance here to, like I said, extend it to 7 if she's good on both. And should we go on the first one? And as we saw in the first half, Pitt's difference in free throw attempts. In the end of the half, they had a total of 13. Definitely where they've outpaced the Moonshiners here tonight, and that is the difference that's given them the lead here.
Yep, and right now this is their largest lead, 7, as they're up 62-55. And right now Tennessee is going to have to find some type of answer to get back into it. There's a lot of time left before the third quarter is over. And Chuck gets fouled by Warrior.
Yeah, and that's her 4th, so she might get benched here, even though she is coming off the bench here tonight. She can afford to give up one more before she's in serious risk of fouling out here tonight.
Yeah, and right now we get to see a nice one from Shuck, being able to make the first. And he's good on the second. So right now Tennessee is down by 5, 62-57. Right now, Pittsburgh's trying to find a way to get this league back up, and we get to see another reach-in foul by Dufresne, and now Pittsburgh is going to be in the bonus.
Even though Warrior missing that first one there.
But he was able to make the second. So right now, Pittsburgh's up by 6, 63-57.
And we saw Pittsburgh claw their way back from a 7-point deficit themselves, so you'd expect Tennessee to be able to do the same thing, except they turn the ball over almost as Shuck comes on top of it. And Dufresne
with a desperation 3, not able to get it because
he made one earlier, but I mean, honestly, I think everyone was a little shook there as a Pittsburgh player went to the floor diving for the ball. Probably could have gone a little slower with a man down, but Gale going to go for a 2 on the step in, no good.
Yeah, but right now Anderson Rowe gets the board, passing it over to Brian. Brian trying to go for a 3 automatically, no good as Gale tries to get it, but it's tipped out of bounds. But there are saying it is Moonshiner's ball.
Yeah,
so
Gale was the one who touched it last there. He was getting outboxed by a smaller player and forced to tip it out of bounds as Dufresne off the inbound pass. Easy lay-in for him.
Yeah, that's something that they really have to watch out for. Now Tennessee is up, well, down by 4, excuse me, as Gale tried to go for 3, not able to get it. As I said, it seems like the 3-point game is just non-existent as Tennessee almost loses the ball, but Shuck was able to get it back, and he will go on the line for 2 once more. Right now, Tennessee is really winning the 50-50 battle when it comes to getting the ball.
Yeah, but a little confusing there considering they'd already turned the shot clock off. Tennessee had the last possession, but him throwing up the shot there has given Pittsburgh the chance to extend the lead with the last possession of this quarter. Yeah,
but Tolliver getting a chance to 3, not able to get it there. Maybe that's why he decided to go for it early as we end the third here as Pittsburgh's up by 3.
Yes, I think they've led in every quarter, actually, if I think about it. Except for the first, I think was tied. Or maybe Tennessee was just barely ahead. So Pittsburgh in the end, the 2 back-to-back dunks, the turning point of the quarter, gave them the lead they needed.
Yeah, and right now, it just seems like Tennessee will have to get some kind of stop here. And it looks like Gale was about to turn in the tie, but he gets blocked.
If you're the Moonshiners, that's how you do that. And another way is getting to the line. Catcher, 7 seconds into the fourth quarter, gets his 3rd. Not too bad considering he had 2 since the first minute and a half of the game.
But then again, you have to take into consideration how long he's been on the court. He hasn't been on the court that long in this game. He has been struggling.
And he has, and got on the first one here. Tennessee a chance to bring it back to a 1-point game where we have seen the score sit for most of the night, in fact. I'd almost like to see a statistic on how long this game has been within 1.
And we do get to see the game once again back within 1 as Sawyer makes them both. All right, now Randy. Trying to get a screen going. Got the opening he needs, but it looks like it got blocked from behind. And right now, Randy Catcher has just struggled. 1 for 6 the entire game. Still hasn't scored in the second half, excuse me. As Pullman gets the reach-in foul.
Again, continuing with their pressure on the ball handler. They don't mind risking getting to the bonus here in the final quarter.
And right now we get to see Cole passing it to Dufresne. And Dufresne loses the ball, but he gets it back. Cole, long 2, and he's able to get it.
If only his paw wasn't on the line there, that'd been the second 3-pointer from a Gator tonight. That might have been a career night for both of them combined. I don't think there's ever been a game where both of them have made a 3-pointer.
Yeah, it's both of them have shown that they extended their game. And right now we get to see a pass over to Pullman. Pullman has to do something with it. Passes over to Catcher. Catcher, this could be the spark. Not this time, though. It's just...
He's not a Gator. That's the problem. I mean, clearly
right
bizarre
now,
world where the centers are making threes tonight.
Hey, it just shows the times are changing, I guess. As Sawyer gets the rock.
Time's
Sawyer
running out.
Air
ball.
Able to get another air ball. Right now, I'm surprised the crowd isn't screaming air ball at this point. this late in the game, but right now we're going to see Tefatoglou back into the mix of things. And right now, we're going to see Catcher bringing it up. Catcher passing up to Tefatoglou. Tefatoglou does not really have the side. He almost loses the ball that time. Tefatoglou just passes it right back out to Catcher. Catcher getting a screen from Hanks. Right now, they're trying to find some kind of opening. He just shoots it up there, and he finally gets one. He gets one, ladies and gentlemen, as he gets the lead up by one more time. As Pittsburgh's up 65-64. And we get to see a foul from Tefatoglou. That's his first personal.
And that's a 27 lead change here tonight.
Yeah, but Dufresne for 3, and it is good. Nope, long 2 once again.
You just need to stop calling threes, because...
It's just like, we haven't really seen a lot of threes in this game. It's like a Tefatoglou gets blocked by Dufresne.
Oh, we've seen lots of 3 attempts here. And then we see
They're
the steal from Christian. Come on, dunk it. No, just lays it up, and then the big horse slowing down, not able to get enough momentum going for that dunk there, I guess.
Yeah, he's not really known for his speed. He is known for his brute strength, but I don't think he had the ability to speed it up as much.
Well, he's lucky he didn't get blocked from behind, honestly.
Yeah, as Dufresne passing up to Savoy. Savoy laying up and no good. And right now, Pittsburgh has a chance to extend the lead up to 3 as Hanks is in the paint, and he gets it going down. Right now, Pittsburgh is up by 1 possession, 69-66. Millark going over to Dufresne. Dufresne stepping it back. We could see a 3 from another Gator. Nope. He's going to go ahead and try and get into the paint. He does have the size advantage a little bit. Going for the fadeaway, no good.
Yeah, the isolation not working out for Dufresne there at all.
Yeah, right now we get to see Tolliver getting a screen, trying to find some type of space. They have a chance to extend this lead. Tefatoglou with the rock, try to get into the paint. With the help, though, missed it, but Hank's trying to clean it up, no good. So right now, both teams trying to pick it up defensively as Savoy is able to cut it down to 1. And right now, Tolliver bringing it down. So right now, Tennessee still trying their best to make sure they get caught up as Hanks gets to dunk it down.
Okay, this time he's going to dunk it when there's defenders all around, but on a fast break, he's going to lay it up and in. Okay.
Yeah, once again, going down full court isn't his forte as Dufresne.
You're telling me he got too tired running down the court so he couldn't jump?
Oh, man. Sawyer, leg, trying to go for a long 15-footer. No, not able to make it there. As Pittsburgh, once again, having a chance to extend the lead to 5. Take him on, passing up the catcher. Catcher doing a lot past the Tepatoglu. Tepatoglu trying to find a way to get to the paint, but he does not have the strength. Going for a fadeaway, and he rattles it home. Right now, Pittsburgh is starting to slowly but surely extend this lead as it's back up by 5. As Sawyer passes it to Peter. Peter trying to find a way to pass it to Dufresne. Sawyer laying it up, but it gets blocked. Huge block by Hanks. Pittsburgh is showing a little bit of defense of his own in the paint as Hanks gets it back, passing it to Catcher. Catcher going over to Hanks. Hanks back to Catcher. Getting a good screen from Tepatoglu. And he gets to go for a jumper and not able to get it. So right now, Tennessee getting a 3. No good.
Quick positions like that are not going to help them whittle this lead down.
Exactly, especially when they're just under 6 minutes. They have plenty of possessions to get a game plan going as Hanks tries to get into the paint. Hanks got a little bit of an opening, wasn't able to, got the ball back though. Poor defensive effort by Cole that time. Not able to box him out effectively as Dufresne passing it to Sawyer, going over to Cole. Cole passing up to Savoy. Savoy for the 3, not able to hit it.
They're not in desperation 3-point right now, so I don't know why they're continuing to try to push the threes when they failed, except Takamoto. First double-digit lead tonight.
Yep, that just goes to show why Tennessee is panicking at the end of the game. They still have 5 minutes left. And right now they're in huge trouble now, only down by 10. Still plenty of time left on the clock.
Well, plenty of time if they can actually get the bucket to fall. They are struggling here, though, as Hank so far is really standing out this game. A lot of double efforts, in fact. I think he, like his own catching his own misses and putting it back up for extra points.
Yeah, right now Pittsburgh is up by 10, and we need to see some kind of effort from Tennessee on the offensive line. And Sawyer almost loses the ball there as I say that. And right now Dufresne passes it back to Savoy, going over to Millark. Millark passes it back to Savoy. Right now they're picking it up on the pace when it comes to passing. Sawyer has to do something with it, going for the long 2. Hits the side of the rim as the shot clock runs out. But Pittsburgh gets the ball back. As Sawyer hands it over to Catcher. Catcher back to Rays. Rays going over to Catcher. Catcher headed over to Hanks. Hanks going to Takamoto. Tolliver. Ooh, nice pump fake. Got the opening he needs. Not able to get it though. And right now, Tennessee still has a chance to cut this deficit down, and Peter Millark does that.
Trice Millark.
Oh, Trice Millark. Excuse
it's
me.
Trice Peter Millark.
Trice Peter Millark. I mean, I still got his name right technically. All right, but
okay, Bobby.
Anyways, we get to see Catcher getting a nice drive in as he's able to get a nice little teardrop going. And right now, Pittsburgh has found the fire that they need to start extending this lead. As Sawyer trying to find a way to get his team back, not able to get it there. As Tolliver gets the board. Tolliver passes to Takamoto. Takamoto for 3, and no good. Shook was able to get the rebound, thankfully, as Millark probably had to get something out of his arsenal. He gets fouled by Hanks. Right now, it's still going to be a possession for Tennessee as he passes over to Dufresne. Dufresne gets fouled by Hanks.
I'm telling you, even up by 10, they're going to keep this pressure going all night.
Yeah, right now they don't want to give these guys any extra advantages, but Tennessee is now in the bonus because of it. So they're going to have to be careful from here on out. If they keep this going, this deficit can cut down pretty easily.
Well, I mean, they are called free throws for a reason, but tonight they have not been gimmies. We have seen players who are usually consistent miss. And this is when the pressure really gets to a player. You're down by double digits, now down to 9. I mean, Hal Dufresne has been the man tonight for Tennessee. Perfect from the free throw line, so maybe not the best idea to foul him here.
Yeah, but right now the deficit is down to 8, 80-72. Like I said, this is the exact opposite of the first game as we said before. This is a defensive struggle, it seems. As Ray's going up, it's not able to get it there. And right now, Tennessee has an opportunity to get it down as Millard had his paws out of bounds. It was a wild pass there, so it couldn't really do much.
Well, the Baboon tipping it to himself and spinning to get control of it just slid out of bounds. His footpaw. That was a great opportunity to get a quick basket there as Reyes gets blocked, but he gets his own block shot back.
Yeah, and right now, you get to see it was a good defensive effort by Dufresne, but right now a good offensive effort there for Pittsburgh as well as they bring the deficit back to double digits.
That's just bad luck for Tennessee there. They should be down only by 6 here, but
right now we get
Sawyer miss again. 3 for 14 here tonight.
And 1 for 8 in the second half. That's not something you want to see from your starting point guard. So his struggles continue for the season as Ray's laying it up, no good there. And right now it seems like Tennessee might need to have a couple of threes, which both teams have struggled in, but they must have something. But Savoy was able to get the quick 2. The other deficit back down to 8.
Well, we're starting to hit panic time for Tennessee. Only 2 minutes left, down by 8. They need to stop here and a quick bucket if they want to stay in this.
Yeah, then if there's a good chance for them to get a steal, now will be a good time. Catcher. He has been struggling offensively, at least it would be a good advantage, but he passes up to Tolliver. Tolliver getting a nice quick screen, and he's able to make the shot. And this might possibly be the dagger if they do not get the basket here.
Yeah, and this is the chance maybe you throw up a 3, but Sawyer getting tired, going to go for the quick fadeaway off the back iron. Is no good. 90 seconds here. I think Tennessee realizing it's done. I mean, they haven't started to foul yet, but...
Yeah, right now we get to see Takamoto pass it up to Hanks. Hanks also looking a little bit fatigued as he tries to find a way to get into the paint. He's able to. As right now they are up by 12. That's pretty much all she wrote at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there was a miracle minute, I believe, where someone came back from 10 points down, but 12 is a lot to ask.
Yeah, that's 4 straight three-pointers there. And that's for having turnover after turnover, but I really don't see that happening as Sawyer gets the board. You try to get a screen. Has Dufresne wide open, and it's in and out. So right now, it's looking like to be a good W, a much-needed W, too, for Pittsburgh, as they have been on a 7-game losing skid, and it's looking to end right here.
Yeah, and I don't know why 100% why Tennessee's even calling a timeout here with a score down by this much.
Maybe it was probably for an opportunity for getting the all the reserves to come in for the rest of this game. And right now we get to see Kajani laying it up, and he gets fouled hard by Shook. And the coach is not really having it at the moment. Right now Kajani's able to make the first one. And Gachani was able to make the second. So just like that, Tennessee is down by 16 at this point. Well, it looks like the struggles will continue on for the Moonshiners as they try to still find some kind of rhythm going, but Pittsburgh getting the much needed win that they needed, albeit for some nice efforts also from Gale and also in the bench as well.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Tennessee is going to continue to find some difficulty here as the next game they play will be San Jose at home, a tough opponent that they could end up losing to, and they follow that up with a road game in Santa Ana, so I think their next real chance for a win will be against Arizona, and after that, it just continues back to another road game stretch, so Tennessee, we might have to keep an eye on them late season if they're going to make a push there. And as we look at the scores for both teams and how the players performed tonight, looking on over at Pittsburgh, Christian with 13 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block, doing a bit of everything to get done. Tulliver picked up in the second half, but still finished barely above 33%. 12 points and 1 rebound shy of a double-double with 2 steals. Takamoto, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Christian Reyes, 7 for 13, 4 for 5 from the free throw line with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Moving on down to catcher, 3 for 10, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover. Missed his 2 3-point attempts. Gale, coming off the bench, put up 14 points, 6 of which coming from the free throw line, and 1 block as well. And looking at Brad, 10 rebounds pulled down, and his 1 dunk. Didn't need to score often, but made sure when he did, he made a point of doing so. Tefetoglu, 1 for 3 with 5 rebounds, put up 3 points, missing 1 free throw. Lawless, 1 assist, 1 steal on the night. Not a lot with her minutes. Orshot made his 1 3, but missed his other 3 attempts from the field, and 1 assist to go along with it. Kajani coming in early due to the foul trouble on catcher, put up 9 points. Perfect from the floor with 2 steals and an assist. And Warrior, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Switching on over to the Moonshiners, it's quite easy to see why they struggled. Sawyer, 1 for 5, statistically 20% from the field, 30 of 15 total, 10 points, 5 assists, 2 turnovers. Malark, shooting 50% from the field, but only 6 points, 3 rebounds. Dufresne, carrying the Moonshiners, was 1 point shy of 20 and put up 14 rebounds with 3 huge blocks, shooting a little bit below 50%. Savoy, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. Darius Cole, 4 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. However, turned the ball over twice. Eli, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. 4 for 5, almost finished the night perfect, but missed 4 free throws. Brine, 3 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. Anderson Rhodes, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 offensive rebounds with 3 fouls. Barsky, 2 points, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Francesco, 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Not a lot of minutes on the floor as well for Providence, only 8 minutes total, but with 2 points, 1 for 4 from the field. Kiara Hughes, the rookie, 6 points, 3 for 6, and a turnover. And again, just looking over at the team comparison, first quarter was the way of the Pittsburgh Keystones, even though Tennessee Moonshiners shot better. In the second quarter, split even 50% from the field. The free throws, 4 for 8 from Pittsburgh, finishing with twice as many attempts from the free throw line. Going into the third quarter, Pittsburgh Keystones, we saw a defensive slugfest, both shooting below 35% in that third quarter, but it was finally in the fourth quarter where the Keystones returned to form, shooting 48%, where the Moonshiners still struggled, only hitting 5 baskets in that final quarter.
That the Moonshiners will have to try and figure things out when it comes to the second half effort, because it seemed like there wasn't a lot going for them offensively there.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of the game, we saw Tennessee slide below 40%. Pittsburgh themselves shooting 43% should count themselves lucky to get a win with that poor performance. You usually want to see yourself above 45%, in a win situation. Really, their bench stepped up, putting up 36 points compared to Tennessee's 26. And it really was the fast breaks in the end because they, despite the slow running from the big horses on Pittsburgh, they still put up 19 fast break points compared to Tennessee's only 6. So, not a fast game from the Moonshiners, and you can clearly see their struggles from beyond the arc. 2 for 18. Not that Pittsburgh was much better, 2 for 13.
Yeah, if you were thinking of having a 3-point contest in a game, this is not. It should have came in last time that we came into the broadcast booth.
Definitely not. I mean, this was the score like 5 minutes into the third quarter. So last game. But
yeah,
with that, that's been the second SportsDen, and I'm looking at our schedule now. It looks like our next SportsDen game will be coming up in a few weeks after Thanksgiving. We will see the Williamsburg Minutemen travel to Seattle on November 30th. Both teams, well, Seattle definitely struggling since their loss of Kenny and Jake, but Williamsburg starting off strong this season, making it look like they may make a run for the playoffs.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be very exciting times for Williamsburg right now as we get into the nitty-gritty. But we'll see what happens in these next few weeks and see if any momentum changes, as we already know how the FBA, it always bounds to happen in this type of scenario.
Yep. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I've been Ryan Eastman, and joining me in the booth was Marcus Baylor. Thank you, Marcus, for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
Yep. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Have a great night.